Hi, I'm Joleen Lunzer.
And I'm Sarah Atwood.
We're YouTubers.
We're entertainment and pop culture fanatics.
But most importantly, we're friends.
Good Pop is a weekly podcast where we chat about pop culture, entertainment, life, and share some good news stories.
Because right now, we could all use some good in our lives.
So sit back, relax, and get some of this good pop.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Good Pop Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Joleen Lunzer. I'm here with my co-host, Sarah Atwood.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Sarah, we got to check in briefly before we went live, but how are you?
I'm doing okay. Thank you. Yeah, we were talking about how this, we were talking about Big Brother, because when do we not talk about Big Brother? But this week for me, I was prepared. I was rested. I was calendaring. I was planning shows. I was being my type A self that I love. And then this week we got nothing. We got no cast announcement. It wasn't until yesterday that we got any sort of heads up at all. So my week, I was like, oh, so now I have like free time? What am I doing?
We really thought we were supposed to have the cast reveal, all that, but we found out it's going to be happening live this Wednesday when they move in during the episode. So I feel you, Sarah. I was like ready. I mean, I wasn't prepared at all, but I was ready. I'm not the type A. So I was thinking in my head of all the things but not preparing for
You were emotionally prepared.
Yes, I emotionally prepared. That's exactly right. I love how you know me so well now. But yes, it was kind of like all right. Well, I guess we'll wait. That's okay.
Yeah, that's okay. We both agree that we're excited about just everything coming to us on Wednesday the 5th. We're going to see them move in. We're going to see who the cast is officially. That's exciting. That's totally fine. But I like to prepare for these things.
Yes. And I like to just emotionally prepare for these.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you to everyone joining us live here in the chat. Hello to those joining us later on iTunes. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up while you're here. We got 14 thumbs up already. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And if you want to quickly just hit the share button, share this on your social media, be like Joleen and Sarah live. They're talking about pop culture, good news, astrology, fun things.
Be like, hey, this is where I am right now. Come join us.
You can be here too every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific. So
how was your week, Joleen? Did you get some sleep?
I did. I was telling Sarah that I started with a little bit of melatonin. But the 3 milligram was like making me feel hungover the next day. So my new nutritionist / dietitian person, Lauren, said, try cutting it in half. So I'm going to try cutting it in half. But it definitely helps me kind of wind down this brain that's always going. Always, Sarah. You know me, always.
Yes.
Just to be in my brain. You would think I was like a marathon runner. I should have like a 6-pack, half a chin. Like I do so much cardio in my brain.
In your brain. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's good. I brought back my Breakdown with Joleen sign. You can see it here behind me, preparing for the upcoming season.
I know. It's so exciting to have that sign back.
Yes, just out in the desert. It's 120 degrees. It's a little warm,
Yeah.
But can't complain because we have AC.
Can't complain because you have a lemon?
Oh my
circle?
Gosh. I tried to make.
Who are you?
Sometimes I try to make my teas as fancy as I'm feeling that day. So I got the lemon wedge and put on the side because we can't go to restaurants. My favorite thing to do is get like an iced tea or an Arnold Palmer at restaurants because they always make it so fancy. So I'm like, I'm going to do it at my home, and it's so hot out. I just feel like so fancy.
Oh yes, look at you, the ideal desert lady right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you look like.
Yes, thank you. So, that's what's going on with me. But otherwise, just ready. I'm ready for next week. I don't want to jump ahead because I want to live in the present. That's what I'm always working on. But I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
We're real close to 10K subs, which is amazing.
If you are not subbed to Joleen, I mean, I think everyone here is, but get it going. Let's go. So close.
Also, Sarah, you are so close to 5K. Like, I think you're like there.
I'm 500 away. I'm a little bit more than you.
That's pretty much there. I'm a little under 100 away from 10K. Let's get Sarah to 5. Let's get me to 10. Let's just make our YouTube dreams come true.
Yeah. So exciting.
I also acquired, is that acquisition? Acquire? I never know the word to use. The Mama Bev's astrology work.
Oh, you got her services, did you?
Yes, her services. And so I'm so excited. I have to, Mama Bev, I see you in the chat. I owe you an email back. I got one for Nana, and then we got one for Nana's best friend. It was just her birthday yesterday, producer Linda. We call her our producer for our Married to Bravo podcast. So Nana is beyond, like she calls me every day. So how's it going to work? I'm so excited. Like she's so, after she saw my reading live in episode 10 of the Good Pop podcast, she was like, I want this. I need this. It's like, oh, okay, Nana, you work hard for me. I'm going to buy you this. This is on me.
Nice. Well, yes, Mama Bev's very excited to do all the charts. So it's her services.
It's so cool. It's just the coolest thing. Because I've never heard my mom talk about astrology before or be interested. She did. Really? No, when I was younger, she did used to call the Psychic Friends and Family hotline when she got bored. She did, like the call me now, Miss Cleo and stuff.
Yes.
And I remember I was probably like 10 and she's like, they told me a red car's in my future. I go, I think a red car's in everyone's future. You'll see it driving around. You'll be on the street. So that was
right
as far as she got. But that's
so funny.
Really fun. So speaking of astrology and Mama Bev, what do we have for a Mama Bev astrology update for this week?
We have quite the astro update, and this might go into what you were just talking about. Your head is always spinning. It might feel a bit extra right now because this Monday we have a full moon in Aquarius. That's going to hit you pretty good, Joleen. It definitely hit me this week. Aquarius is, like we talked about, it's an air sign, very thinking oriented, lots of thoughts in your head, but it's also electrical energy. And I said to my mom it was like Monday or Tuesday, and I was like, I just feel like I have electricity like going through my body. She's like, well, let me tell you about this full moon. And I was like, so we're all going to start feeling it this weekend since it's Monday, because you start to feel that energy building up. So full moons shine a light on whatever that energy is. So it's Aquarius energy for us right now. That is being uniquely individual. That is one of the characteristics. Thinking outside of the box, being creative, innovative, inventive, but also rebellious. If anyone or anything is sort of stopping you from those feelings, those thoughts, that action, then you're going to like rebel against it. So we might have a ton of rebellious people this weekend. Ooh. But also this full moon is squaring Uranus. Okay, we haven't talked a lot about squares, but sometimes things line up. And if they line up in a square, that means that there's friction. It's kind of like an opposition. And Uranus is also electrical energy. So like, I can't get away from it. It's just like that. So if you're feeling that, this is why. So we're building up, but Uranus is out. It's the unexpected. It's the out of the blue. My mom put a post on her Instagram, you guys. She's killing it. Her Instagram game. It's just... she's killing it. She said, expect the unexpected. She doesn't even know that's a Big Brother statement, but this weekend, expect the unexpected. Could be accidents, so stay alert, be aware, but some sort of sudden information might come to you, something surprising, information-wise or action-wise might happen this weekend. So everyone stay extra alert through Monday.
Extra alert through Monday. We got some crazy rebellious full Aquarius moon happening. What's so funny is I did a little thing this morning with Tami, who's here in the chat, and she has her own channel. She's starting on the sides, TLC, because she's TLC and she does all these little threads. And she actually pulled up Mama Bev's Instagram and pulled up that most recent post. So Mama Bev's killing it. She's all over. She's all over the YouTube. She's infecting all of our mothers wonderfully. I love it. I love it.
Well, congrats, Tami, and thank you.
Yes, we'll be sharing Tami's channel out on our channel, so you guys can go sub to her. Feel free, Tami, to put your link in the comments, and subs, feel free to share it out if you'd like. So, mod subs, what am I talking about? There we go.
Know.
Your crazy brain, Joleen.
What business you talking about?
But I love that Mama Bev put something out, Expect the Unexpected, on a Big Brother the week that we are finally getting.
Yes.
Season. All right, so let's get to some pop culture entertainment news. Sarah, did you want to go first?
Okay, yes. I'm going to bring this one up because this is very 90s, and you love the 90s, and you're bringing me back to an appreciation of the 90s.
Yes.
Did you hear that there is a Scream 5 that is going to be made? The news this week was that both, what's his name, David Arquette and Courtney Cox are both going to reprise their roles. She was Gail Weathers, the journalist, the news anchor, and he was Dewey, the detective or the officer or whatever. So they're both signed on to be back. Neve Campbell is in negotiations. She is in talks to return for Scream 5, so we'll see if that happens. But the original one was in 1996, and I loved it. I think I saw the second one, but there's actually, 3 and 4 I did not see. I don't know. Did you, Joleen? Have you seen all of these?
I did. I don't recommend watching all of them. I think 1 and 2 is good. Once you get to the parts where like Jenny McCarthy's has a role, it's not great. I appreciate what they're doing. They're stretching it out, and I do love the Scream movies. But yeah, I think 1 and 2 is good. Maybe 3. I don't remember which one Jenny McCarthy's in, but I'm excited for a 5. I think enough time has passed. I think what happened there is there wasn't maybe enough time had passed.
Yeah, and they were just like trying and trying. But now it feels like we're getting back into it, especially if we're going to have Courtney Cox back.
Yes, I mean, and the 90s nostalgia is so real right now. We had 80s for a long time. Everyone was just like, and we still have this nostalgia for the 80s, but 90s is really, if you look at the fashion that's been happening for the last couple years, hair, things like that. Even like tie-dye is, something a lot of people attribute to. I love how Sarah's like going, and I'm so excited that tie-dye is back. So I can't help it. So even though we attribute to like the 60s and maybe like 70s, it came back in the 90s, and we had we had all these fun things. But now tie-dye is coming back. I've bought a tie-dye shirt. I got another Sublime, the band Sublime in tie-dye, sold at Target. That's how you know you're getting old, when the bands you loved, when they sell at Target, you're old.
I have mixed feelings about this like nostalgia for the 90s, because I'm like, wait, that wasn't that long ago, you guys. It was just, I was like a teenager then. Like,
Sarah,
why?
Shell and I were driving around in the desert, turned on an oldie station, and they were playing Bush. Gavin Rossdale, the oldie station. I was like, who? No. I think they got this one wrong. And then next they went to Pearl Jam. I'm like, I should tell the station programmer that they are like very much incorrect. This was yesterday.
Dare you? This is very much my lifetime. This is not oldies. Well, if you haven't seen the original Scream, I highly recommend it. It is a horror comedy like blend. It was the first time that they sort of like made fun of cheesy horror movies, and they just did it so well. Do you remember, Joleen? Here's your partial quiz. They made history, Scream 1, by killing off a name actress in the first 10 minutes of a movie. It was mind-blowing to all of us who watched. Who was the actress, Joleen?
Drew Barrymore. Thank you.
Yes! Ding, 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 ding. We all were like, what? Yes. Drew Barrymore, you can't kill her off in the first 10 minutes, but they did. They said, we buck your system. We do it differently. Do you remember the 3 rules for horror movies that they talk about?
Oh, because Jamie Kennedy's character talks about it, because he's the like horror geek.
Yes.
Oh gosh, can I have a hint? I'm so sorry.
Well, okay, so he's listing these rules as they're happening. So
Don't be blind.
Intoxicated.
Don't get drunk. Don't be drunk at a party if you're a lady. Don't walk down an alley at night. Don't have sex. If you have sex, you're gonna get killed. You're gonna have sex.
That was a throwback to Joleen and Sarah. We did a video about the circle, and I was educated about hand signals. So that's your hint. So you got it.
So don't be drunk. Don't have sex.
And then the third one is never, ever, under any circumstances, say, "I'll be right back."
Oh, yes. That's a good one because, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie, off now, but one of the, like, maybe just go away for a second. One of the best scenes of someone getting, I think she got killed in this part, was Rose McGowan when she goes to the garage and with the garage door.
That was so good. Was that Rose McGowan? That was a great death scene.
Yes, Rose McGowan is amazing. Her 90s movie, do you remember Jawbreaker? When that movie came out, like Marilyn Manson had a little part in it because they dated at the time. It was about these popular girls who accidentally killed off the head of their clique. Accidentally, I should say. It's a really campy, kind of scary, dark movie.
I'd say 90s had some really fun horror, scary movies that were a little cheesy, campy. But yeah, okay. So that was my 90s
such a good one because I love Scream. And I remember that coming out and I went to it with my boyfriend at the time. I was so excited to just be 16 and going to movies with boys where you could have our arms around each other and make out in my Pontiac Le Mans. Loved it. Okay. Thank you, Faithy, for the $2 super chat. Faithy says, I love the 90s. Best era ever. I agree, Faithy. I love it.
Awful.
Sarah's like, no, let's all buy tie-dye. We're going to get merch with Sarah's face as we tie-dye. Speaking of 90s, I saw a little article on Pop Sugar, and they were saying Netflix is adding 7 iconic Black TV shows to their whatever you call it. I mean, their schedule, their
slate of shows. I'm not sure.
Slate of shows, and you should add them to your queue if you remember them. Like some of these shows I was watching on the regular, and some of them I'm like, I got to go back. I don't remember this one. So the first one that's getting added today is one I'm very excited about. And Busy Blue and I were talking about this show a little bit in our last podcast about the Real Housewives of Potomac, and it's Moesha. Drops on Netflix today. And Moesha stars Brandy. We all know Brandy sitting up in my room. Like she was the artist of the 90s. Like she was a teen. We watched her grow up. Unfortunately, she came along later with that brother, Ray J, which I could do without Ray J. But I do love Moesha. The show was great. She was just, I think she took Kobe Bryant to her prom. Like or they went to prom. He took her to his prom or something. It was just iconic.
Something like that.
Such a good show. So that drops today on Netflix. Way to go, Netflix. I'll definitely be watching Moesha. Also, another show I watched, Sister Sister. Sarah, did you watch that show?
I absolutely did. And it was a dream because I got to work with the Mowry sisters. Yes.
It's the real.
I love them both. Loved Sister Sister. And then they did that reality show.
Oh, with each other, right?
Yeah, with each other.
And they talked. They had their lives and their kids and their husbands. And
but I forget the name of it and all that stuff. But it wasn't too long ago, and I loved to have them come back. And I'm so glad they're still working. So yes, Sister.
I love to hear when people that I liked watching on TV are good humans too. It makes me feel so good. But I think you can kind of just tell by how they are that they're good people. So that drops September 1st, which I'm really excited for because then we get to see the iconic Jackie.
Jackie
brought us such. Do you know she had her own sitcom for a little bit in the 80s?
Yes.
And I went back and watched I think the pilot episode, and it was just, oh my gosh. It was
amazing.
It was amazing.
Now if you want to talk 80s sitcoms, I got that. That I remember. 90s, I was like,
we'll have an 80s versus 90s sitcom.
Yes.
Okay. The next show I watched a little bit, but I didn't watch a ton, was The Game. And The Game drops August 15th. Girlfriends, which is an iconic show, that drops September 11th. And a show I really loved because I had Monique in it was The Parkers. And that drops.
Oh, yeah. I don't know The Parkers.
Yeah. You would like The Parkers. That drops October 1st, One-on-One. I never watched One-on-One, but that drops October 15th, and Half and Half drops October 15th as well. So just some fun shows to check out and add to your Netflix queue, and we'll take you back to that wonderful nostalgia.
Yes, for sure. There was something, this is probably awful to bring up, but people online were like, let's see a Friends with all, people of color. And they were like, yeah, it's been done. It's called Girlfriends.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Isn't Living Single too very similar to Friends?
Living Single.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I think there's just, if only
keep it going. You don't have to stop just because it's been done. Keep it going.
Yeah, exactly. Keep it going. Yeah. Keep it going. All right. What do you got next?
Oh, yes. Okay. This week, Olivia De Havilland passed away. And so for a second, I was like, oh, how sad. But then I also was like, what the heck? She was still alive? Olivia De Havilland was 104, you guys, and she passed away this week, mostly known as playing Melanie in Gone with the Wind. But she, did 1,000 movies back in the day, and her last credits were like in the 80s. So the girl still worked. She was working. But here's what's very interesting to me about Olivia. And I read a lot of biographies about actors, but I love older, like back in the day. So so I've learned a lot about the studio system. I don't know if everyone knows, but back in the early days of movies, the studios would sign a contract with these stars, and they basically owned these actors and just told them how to look. They would change their names, and they would put them in movie after movie after movie for however long your contract was. And you had no choices in your life. Like, the studio system, eventually went away because it was just a awful system. But Olivia De Havilland actually helped bring down the studio system. So there was a thing, Lauren Bacall talks about this in her book. I recently read her book. And she talked about how when you're under contract with Warner Brothers, specifically Jack Warner, he was not a great person. He'd be like, okay, go do this movie. And they would be like, this is not a good role for me. Like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't fit. But they didn't have those rights. So eventually these women, especially after you do an iconic movie like Gone with the Wind, you start to speak up and you're like, I'm not going to do this movie. This isn't a role for me. So the way he would, punish them is he'd say, okay, I'm going to put you on suspension. And then they're no longer getting paid. And, they have to just sit there and can't work because they've turned down whatever. So her contract, Olivia De Havilland, after 7 years, her contract went up in 1943. Wow. And Warner Brothers said, no, you're not out of this contract because we've suspended you for so many months. We're going to extend your contract for 6 months. Like, you still owe us 6 months because of these suspensions. So she sued them. She got some lawyers, and she said, she took them to court, and she won. And this cemented a deal where these studios, when they would do a contract, it was restrictive to the calendar year. Like, when it's up, it's up. You can't say we suspended you and we're going to add time or anything like this. So this was very limiting to them, restricting to them. And this was the beginning of tearing down the studio system.
That is amazing. I had no idea that Olivia did all that.
Right? We don't know what happened in the 40s.
I know, thank you so much for that hard work, Olivia, and fighting for people working in entertainment and their rights, because they really did hold you hostage under those contracts. And it's so interesting when we watch movies or shows that are kind of based in that time but were made now, and how they show you how they would partner people up to be in relationships. Like, the studio would put you together. So there was a lot of women acting as beards for gay male actors, because at the time they couldn't come out. And so it's so interesting how they would do that. And you did see a little bit of that, going forward into the future, where if someone had a movie coming out, you'd see them in the, out, paparazzi would catch them together a lot.
Oh, right. Yes.
And they were rumored to be dating, and they loved it.
It might still be happening. I don't know. Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise, that was super suspicious.
Right?
Not sure what really was going on there, but something was up.
Well, apparently he was auditioning women to be his leading lady, being his wife, his leading lady in real life. I remember.
And they signed a 5-year contract because when 5 years was up, she Splitsville. Like it was exactly 5 years.
What she saw and what she had to endure. Ooh. Okay. So I remember Brittany Murphy and Ashton Kutcher had that. They had that movie coming out. Yeah. She's Married, I think. And so they were all over the place. But yeah,
Brittany Murphy.
I know. R.I.P. She was wonderful. She had so much stuff. Okay. So speaking of Friends, I thought it would be fun to do this. And again, we know how my, game situation is, but I pulled up a legit quiz, Sarah. Now, Sarah's favorite show is Friends. She loves Friends. She loves it. Maybe you've taken this quiz before. I don't know, but let's see if you can it's an A to Z test. So it's a little long. So we'll kind of speed through it because I feel like you're going to know a lot of these. And if you don't, whatever. So you can also, there's a guess option. All right. So this is a Friends quiz. This is like the ultimate fan quiz. You guys feel free to answer in the chat if you know the answers to these questions. Okay. First question. Ross and Monica had a grandmother who died. Name the grandmother.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Dolores. No, it's not. I don't know.
Okay. Let's do a guess. Oops. Okay. I give up. No. Okay.
That's the hard part. It's like, what was this person's name? You're like, oh, man.
It was Althea.
Oh, I definitely don't remember that.
Yeah. Name the game show that Joey auditions to be the host of.
Oh, yes. That was so good. Oh, what was the name? It was like, do it again. No, it was not that. It was so silly. Ross and Chandler were contestants and they acted it out, but I don't remember.
I'll give you a hint. It was there are these jelly beans and there's a challenge you can do, and it's called starts with a B. And I think there's a jelly bean challenge around it. Oh. I think I did a video around it. Okay, that's not going to help you, Sarah. What kind of quiz is this? This is why, oh my God, I got to work on this.
Jolene's quizzes are the best.
There's a hot mess. Okay, I'll just tell you the beginning of the game show. The game show. Bam.
Bamboozled.
Very good. Okay. Give the first name of the character who was a love interest for 2 of the main characters. So give the first name of the character who was a love interest for 2 of the main characters.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, she dated Joey first, and then she dated Chandler. She had that really short hair. I think it was Paget Brewster. Is that her real name? But what's the character name? It's a boy name.
It is a boy name.
It's
starts with a C.
It's not Chris.
Our
not
neighbor
Carrie.
Can't pronounce Chel's name, so she calls him this name instead. Something and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, Charlie?
Charlie.
Oh, wait, then I'm thinking of a different person. That's Aisha Taylor's character. Charlie dated Ross and Joey. That's different. That's later in the series. Earlier, Chandler stole Joey's girlfriend.
You need to correct
that. Paget Brewster. Yep. Thank you. I will write this quiz.
Also, I love how I was saying bamboozled is the bean challenge. It's actually bean boozled.
Yeah, thank you, Ben.
Okay, so let's do a couple more. Give the first name of the Canadian ice dancer who married Phoebe for a green card.
Yes. Wait, what's the question? His name?
Yeah, just the first name.
Oh man, I guess I don't know first names, but it's the actor that was also on Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks. Okay. Does anyone remember that sitcom?
The little guy?
Yes. He's the actor. I can just tell you the actors.
Let me look up Bosom Buddies because I want to know Buddies cast.
What's his name?
Rick Moranis? No, Peter Scolari.
Yeah, Scolari. Okay. So it's that actor, but what was his character's name?
Starts with a D. And they make cakes. Yeah, like they make baked goods, like in
Duff.
Box.
Oh,
my clues suck. It's Duncan, like Duncan Hines. I can equate everything to food. Okay, what was the first name? You might get this one of Joey's agent.
Oh, Estelle.
Very good, Sarah.
Joey, I have an audition for you. Oh, they already turned you down? Oh. And she was also smoking.
Yes, it looks like she does her makeup very interesting. Like when I try to do contour on my face, I look like that. So cool.
Yeah, because I think it was a younger actress playing an older role or something. But anyway.
It looks like it. What does Ross say Rachel's trifle tastes like?
Feet.
Yes. Sarah, you're killing it. You're in your group. Okay. What award does Rachel practice winning with her shampoo bottle?
Oh, I do remember her doing this, but it was probably like, was it a fashion award?
No. It was one of the major awards you can win as an artist.
A Grammy?
Yes, a Grammy. Okay. Give the surname of the downstairs neighbor who dies in season 2. This seems hard.
Yeah. No, it's not. It was a big thing. And then Chandler was like, am I him? So he says the name.
It's something that a comedian hates when you do.
Oh yeah, Heckles, Mr. Heckles.
Yes, Mr. Heckles. Yeah. That was actually a good.
That was a good clue. Thank you.
My first one. Okay. What is the brand name for the lipstick for men that Joey does a Japanese commercial for?
Yeah, it's blue.
It is blue.
The brand name? Oh, I don't know. Men stick. I don't know.
Oh my God, men stick would be great. It's Ichiban.
Ichiban.
Name the restaurant where Monica was head chef for the final 2 seasons.
It's like a man's name is like Anthony's or Mazzelli. No, Antonio's. Does it start with an A?
Starts with a J, and I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. It's 4 letters.
Oh, that doesn't sound like I.
It's a hard one. It's
gems.
Javu or Havu.
Oh yeah, that does sound familiar. Mm-hmm.
What is the full name that Joey uses as an alias?
Joey's alias.
I don't even know.
Oh, that's funny because Phoebe's is Regina Phalange. And Joey's is
this is very basic. It's 2 first names, technically. Well, no, it's never mind. Take that back.
Yeah. I'm not going to remember that. I do remember them bringing it up and he's like, yeah, that's me because they heard a story from him. Anyway, long.
Shafika, very good. It's Ken Adams. And you
Adams.
said Kevin or Ken. Okay. Name the triplet whose first name, so Phoebe's triplets. Name the triplet whose first name begins with L.
What? Phoebe's a triplet? Phoebe or Ursula?
She has triplets.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Sorry.
I was like, no, she has a twin named Ursula. What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, she had triplets. So Leslie is the L.
Yes, good job, Sarah. What is Chandler's middle name?
Oh, yeah, we did. They do talk about that.
This is a funny one.
Chandler. It is. It's a silly name. Chandler. Oh, I'm not going to remember that.
It's a woman's name. Starts with an M. It's an older name.
Like Miriam?
Muriel. Very good.
Muriel, yeah.
What is the nickname Chandler has for his third nipple?
I don't remember.
It's his nubbin.
Nubbin, yes.
Let's do one more here. Okay, let's see if we got this one. Okay. What is the full name that Phoebe changes her name to after marrying Mike?
Consuela Banana Hammock.
Yes, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock.
Princess Consuela Banana
Hammock. We
Hammock.
almost got through the whole thing, and you did pretty well.
I didn't do horrible.
No, you didn't do horrible. And it's these ones where there's not multiple choice. I'm not a huge fan of that. And also where you have to like name side characters or characters that might have only been there very, very briefly. So it's hard.
They didn't even bring up Mrs. Chenandler Bong. That's iconic.
Nope. I don't see any of this.
Well, those are decent questions. Yeah. Someone's grandma. I don't know.
It was a BuzzFeed quiz, and I was searching for the best Friends quizzes, and I found this one. I'm like, I'm going to give it to Sarah, and I'm going to redeem myself for all
Yes.
the crappy quizzes I've given. But
I love it. You can quiz me on Friends trivia anytime. I love it.
I'll keep working on it. Okay.
I've seen people in the chat are asking. I've seen the season. I watched the season top to bottom when it was live. I didn't miss an episode. First pilot episode, I fell in love with it, watched the whole thing. And then I had the entire thing on DVDs before we had streaming systems. So I have all 10 seasons on DVD that I have rewatched. And then it was on Netflix. And so then I just watched it all the time. I'd start from the beginning. I'd go all the way through. Then I'd go back and I'd go all the way through again. It's my favorite show of all time.
It sounds like me with Buffy. Now that it's on Hulu, it was on Netflix. They got rid of it a while ago. And you can also watch it on Facebook Watch. I'll go back and watch it. So we'll just quiz each other back and forth. You quiz me Buffy, I'll quiz you Friends, and we'll just make that.
There we go.
I maybe only did this so you would Buffy quiz me. I'll just be full disclosure.
We're renaming this podcast to the Buffy Friends podcast.
My gosh, that's actually a really good name.
That's all we're going to talk about.
That I would do. If there was...
With a little royalty on the side.
With a little, the crown. Queen Buffy Friends.
Yeah.
All right. What else you got, Sarah?
Okay. I do want to just touch, I know we talk about this a lot on both of our channels. But I did want to just sort of expand on television that's coming up, because it's been a touch and go, 5 months where production shut down. Are we going to see shows? So we kind of talked at the beginning, Big Brother is finally coming back, starts August 5th. They are starting Love Island as well. They have moved it. The island is now Vegas.
What happened to Fiji? I thought they could travel there and it was okay and all this jazz. No,
you would think traveling to I don't know about the travel part, but like Fiji's safe. It feels like Fiji's more safe than Vegas. Vegas is dirty on a good day.
You know what probably happened, Sarah? Is Fiji said no, thank you. We do not want you flying in all these Americans. But
we don't want all your American germs. And no, thank you. Pass. And they were like, who doesn't care about American germs? Las Vegas doesn't care. So they have taken over the Cromwell, which I don't know if you guys know Vegas. I actually love to go to Vegas, so I do know the Cromwell. It is owned by the Caesars people, but it's called a boutique. So it's not as big as like a Caesars or a Bellagio or a Venetian. It's a boutique hotel, but it's got Giada's restaurant. I do love Giada, and that's a darn good restaurant. So they're going to take that over for Love Island, shoot there. I guess they're probably cast and crew are all going to stay there, and I have to imagine that pool is where they'll just be for most of the time. I don't know.
Oh, it'd be COVID soup. Gross.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how that one's not getting shut down, but it's happening as of now, guys. So stay tuned for that. We did hear recently that Survivor has been removed from the fall schedule that was supposed to air this fall, but they have not been able to figure out, again, how to shoot in Fiji. So that still hasn't been figured out. There's no announcement on when they're going to be able to film Survivor, but luckily The Amazing Race is still on the fall schedule because that one was shot over a year ago. So that one can still air. So hopefully we get that real soon.
Oh my gosh. Look at this news, Sarah. I did not expect them to be filming things in Vegas.
No, this is
strange.
It seems very sketch, but I mean, a lot of productions have sort of come up with their own like Bibles of how to do it. Tyler Perry just released a 30-page document on how he's doing it, and he just wrapped one of his series and he's about to start a second one. So it's a glimmer of good stuff is coming when these people are like, hey, we just wrapped one and this is how we did it. And this is how we did it safely. And everyone was healthy. So the more we get about that, I have a friend who is a writer on a show. He's about to go to Vancouver to shoot. And the way he's explaining it, how they're doing it, so different, but they're figuring it out. So I think some of these fall shows, some of these scripted shows are going to start shooting. We'll see over this month of August. Definitely by September, we'll start to see how they're going to do it. Things are going to be different. Scenes are probably not going to be like one extra is going to play 1,000 roles.
Yes.
You're like, that's funny. That nurse in the background looks like the same as the cafeteria patron in this scene. But that's okay. That's what we have to do right now to get our TV shows back.
It'll give more jobs to people that do like After Effects and things like that, and add to, they can add.
That's true.
So there, there will be positives to it, but it's just such a strange to look at that this is going to have a long lasting effect that we're all going to have to kind of adapt to, and that even our entertainment obviously is going to adapt to. So, but with adaptation comes, all these new.
Absolutely.
Things. So
be an Aquarius, think outside the box, figure it out.
Be a rebel. Okay. Good news, Sarah. That was some good tea about some of our favorite shows. Terry GSF says, Friends of Sunnydale Pod. I love it. If that's not already a podcast, Sarah and I are taking it. We are taking
it.
Okay. So I think we talked about this previously. For some reason, I always find a way to mention, people that impacted me in the 90s or people I watched. So this is technically a Brian Austin Green story. And I think we talked about previously how he and Megan Fox were finally called it quits. They've broken up so many times throughout the years. They have children. They were married, but I think they're done.
Finally? Okay.
Because Megan Fox she went Instagram official with the rapper, singer, Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay.
I talked about this, or maybe I had this pulled up for a story a different time, but this news just recently broke that they went public on Instagram. So after much speculation, Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly are making their relationship Instagram official. That is, on Tuesday, the 30-year-old singer-rapper shared a black and white snap of him and the 34-year-old actress like cuddling up, sticking their tongues out for the camera because they're rebels as well. And the caption he put is, "Waited for an eternity to find you again with a knife and a shooting star and a heart and a knife." So hot, I guess. He wrote alongside the photo, based on that caption, it sounds like things are getting pretty serious. At least that's what the people who were reporting on this, which would be Pop Sugar.
Serious like murder?
Yeah, I mean, serious like snapped. I don't know what's going on. They met first in a upcoming movie that they were on together, and it was Midnight in the Switchgrass is the name of the movie, and that sparked dating rumors, and this is back in May, following Megan's split from Brian Austin Green, who we all know best as David Silver from the original Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah, we do.
Megan went on to star in Machine Gun Kelly's music video for Bloody Valentine, to which it was like, oh, they're definitely hooking up. You can just tell.
Yeah.
So this is official. And I had to go in because I like to pretend I'm cool, but I wasn't totally up to date with Machine Gun Kelly's catalog. So I listened to it, a couple of bops, couple of bangers, I guess the kids would say. But it was, it's good. I guess he's like,
What's the one hit that I know? There was one hit in like 10 years ago, I want to say.
Really, 10 years ago? I'm not sure. I was listening to the Bloody Valentine again. I was listening to Alpha and Omega, just like the top hits of Machine Gun Kelly. And I actually was so his top hits are Bad Things, Halo, Let You Go, Wild Boy, and this is according to access.com, See My Tears, EST for Life, At My Best, Till I Die, Breaking News, and number one is Alpha Omega, which came out in 2015. So, I mean, I can kind of see, listen, he's given me a lot of old, like back in the day, Brian Austin Green, David Silver vibes. And I wonder if Mr. Brian Austin Green is a little mad because he always wanted to be that hot little rapper. And Brian Austin Green, if you guys remember in the 90s, he tried a rap career, which was interesting. And then on 90210, they had him rapping and he was doing all the dances.
He was a DJ.
And then he'd be doing like the Kid and Play and the Roger Rabbit, and he was like just doing all the dances. So, but now she found herself a little 30-year-old.
Yeah, I'm looking at his picture because of course I don't know what he looks like, and I'm like, oh, he's not my type, but he's got that skinny boy tattoo look that the Brian Austin Green had back in the day.
Doesn't he give you those kind of old Brian Austin Green vibes?
That's just the worst. When your ex finds like a younger version of you or like a more successful version of you. How awful is that?
Right? Oh
That's
my
the
gosh.
worst.
And he has dated, he's been very lucky in love, if you will, of who he's dated through the years. I mean, he's dated Halsey, Amber Rose. I mean, very beautiful.
You dated Halsey, our girl Halsey?
Yeah. Halsey and him dated for a while. I think he dated Kate Beckinsdale.
Whoa.
He dated Noah Cyrus, which is
have some moves.
right. You know what? Musicians, though, with tats, they always will get.
They do. It doesn't work on me, but it obviously works on a lot of the ladies.
Yeah, I'm not a big tat gal. I think they're cool and stuff, but if you're just like straight edge, no tats, I'm like, ooh, that's even hotter. So yeah, I mean, he's cute. He's cute. If he wasn't like a rapper with a lot of tats, I don't know if he would get the same, pull the same.
No.
Women, that sounds awful, but you know what I mean. Like I'm just looking through the list here of all the women, and yeah, now Megan Fox. So he's a young guy. He's 30. She's 34. Well, good luck to you, loved ones.
Get that younger guy. Go for it.
So yeah, and Faith.
I didn't know that they were kind of back together. I thought they divorced like years ago. So this is shocking to me.
That's the thing. Brian Austin Green and Megan Fox kept breaking up. They ain't getting back together. And I think it's hard once you probably have kids and you're in the spotlight. And Brian Austin Green, when they came back with the 90210 reboot, which they didn't renew for a second season, which I was so mad because it was like a satirical look at their real lives and the show. And his wife in it was more successful and was like a bigger star, which I think is something Brian Austin Green had to deal with for a long time.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you. I had to imagine you watched that reboot.
I loved it. Me and Nana were obsessed.
I loved I have to be honest, I didn't watch past the first episode, but I loved the concept because they were playing themselves, but their stories were very similar to their real life stories.
Very similar, and they got them all back. And the show got better as it went on. And I was so mad that people didn't, either the studio didn't give it enough time, or people just didn't get what they were doing. But if you were a true 90210 fan and you followed the show and the behind the scenes drama, because there was a lot of behind the scenes drama with the actors and stuff, it was just a work of art. It was wonderful. They had such a sense of humor about themselves.
They did.
Refreshing. But
I have a little dirt, I'll tell you off air on why it might not have kept going.
Because of Tori Spelling, I feel like she would be to blame. She's saying yes. Oh my gosh. I knew it. I was like, who would be the most problematic or having okay, we'll talk off there.
I think you sometimes go, I don't know if it's worth working with this person anymore. And you make just choices like that.
Oh, that stinks because it was literally so good.
Yeah, I appreciated that they could laugh at themselves. It was real great.
Me too.
Oh, God.
So that's my latest story.
Okay. I don't know if I only have time for one more. I'm deciding between the two. So I'm going to jump to this one. Okay. This is good news that I'm going to tell you about. Giuseppe Paterno. He's 96 years old, and he is Italy's oldest college graduate.
97?
96.
96, sorry. I aged him. Sorry, Giuseppe.
I mean, 96 is plenty old. It doesn't need to be older than 96. Little Giuseppe, he lives in Palermo. He was raised in poverty, so he just got some basic schooling. He then joined the Navy, fought in World War II. He got a job working in the railways after that, got married, had a couple kids. And now as a 90-something-year-old man, he wanted to get an education. So in 2017, he enrolled at the University of Palermo to get a history and philosophy degree because he just wanted to see if he could do it. On Wednesday, he graduated first in his class with top honors. He wrote his essays on his manual typewriter that his mother gave him in 1984 when he retired. And that's how he did his schoolwork, you guys. He confessed that it was definitely difficult when his classes turned to video classes during the pandemic. That was hard on him, but he was able to get through it. And his quote was, "Knowledge is like a suitcase that I carry with me. It's a treasure."
Oh, Giuseppe, you're breaking my heart. In the best way possible.
Cute little old man. They apparently give you like a laurel wreath when you graduate in Italy. And so there was a picture of him with his little laurel wreath. And I just thought it was inspiring because you know what? Knowledge and education is something that's super useful, even if you don't need it for a career. And it's never too late to get it.
It is never too late. And I think it just adds so much more to your life. I'm trying to Google because I want to see a picture of him. So
I emailed you a picture.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so cute. Oh my gosh. Oh, I want to. Oh, and there's a picture of him shaving. You guys, I so want to share this.
His name is Giuseppe Paterno.
I'm gonna
Kim was asking his name again.
I'm going to pull up the picture here so we can all enjoy it together because this guy, if anyone, deserves a share. So let me share my screen with you guys. Oh,
I mean, I'm exhausted at my age. I just can't imagine like still being a productive human being in my 90s, you know?
Right. And he's so productive. Okay, so
yeah, right there's his little graduation laurel on his head. How cute is he?
So cute. But I'm gonna go to because I saw even better pictures. Of course, I did not know how to spell Giuseppe. Look at this cutie. Show up, Giuseppe. Come on, Giuseppe.
Come on, Giuseppe.
Oh, thanks. Look at this guy.
Look at him.
Look at this adorable man. I mean, just intelligent. Cute. Look at his suit. I mean,
did his work on his typewriter, y'all. Come on. He like didn't even Google.
And then he had to do these. Look at him doing the online classes.
Yep. There's his online class.
Look at his little mask. Oh.
Someone was like, "We're gonna pose you with a computer." He was like, "Oh, what?"
Oh my gosh, I'm in love with him. Okay, don't cry, Joleen. But that's Giuseppe, you guys. How cute is he?
Yeah. I thought it was adorable. Had to share.
Thank you, Sarah. That is such a good share. Congratulations, Giuseppe. And just proving that you're never too old to do anything. That's a limit you put on yourself. And society puts on you too. But break it down, kick down the door and say, screw you. Someone said to me, aren't you a little too old to be doing YouTube? I'm like, aren't you a little too old to be telling people who aren't your children what to do?
Back it up. Back it up. Don't tell an Aquarius what she should or should not do.
No, people have been telling me, Sarah, to stop singing my song. Yeah.
Okay. See, this is what happens when you get 10,000 subscribers, Joleen. You're too big. Now you got these people who are like, oh, no, do it this way.
Quite a few. Yeah. People say multiple people, I should say, told me to stop singing the song. So I'm going to sing it more. And then someone told me to take it down 3 notches. And I said, no, why don't you get on my level?
I love it. You guys, my sister is an Aquarius. And when we were growing up, I literally had to sit down my dad and say, you have to stop telling her what to do because she on purpose is doing the opposite of what you say. Like, just don't tell an Aquarius, don't do this or do this because they're going to spite you and sing it louder, y'all.
The whole reason I started YouTube is because doors kept closing on me and people were like, you're not the right age range, you're too old, you're not this, you're not that. And so I thought, well, then I'm going to turn to YouTube. And I was real depressed. And I'm like, I'm going to. And there was an opportunity that came up. And the place said, yeah, we will gladly, we want to help women creators. I said, that's awesome. They said, you just need 10,000 subscribers. And I was like, well, if I had 10,000 subscribers, I wouldn't need you. So of course you want us to do the work. So then I was like, I'm going to do YouTube and I'm going to get to 10,000 subscribers. So you tell me I can't, and I'm going to do it.
They're going to do it. And you know what? We own our channels. They are our channels and we will do them the way that we want to do them. So yeah, don't come at us with, you need to do less of this because we're just not going to do it.
Sarah, what people think they can tell you to do when you're doing your own thing. And Sarah and I mean, we're just invested in things we're really into. And I'm definitely on my channel more critical than Sarah is of things. But we're just commenting, being commentators and also entertainers. And we're trying to just, find our tribe, like Mama Bev says. That's my favorite new saying. And just make people laugh and find other nerds. Like Sarah's channel is literally called Nerdtainment. Like just find people that are like what you like, bring them together and have a place where you can talk about stuff and you can laugh. So it's interesting.
Yeah. It's reflective of life though. Like how many times have you run into someone who's like, oh, maybe you shouldn't be like that. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, you don't need to fall for that. You don't need to listen to that.
People are just, when they say these things to you, they're projecting their own insecurities. If they're insecure about you singing or dancing, it's because that triggers whatever inside of them that they don't feel open enough to let that out, because you don't have to know how to sing or dance to just be out there. Just do it. Look, what is this? I don't know, but it's something. It is something. It's kind of
sing like no one's listening. That's right. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's because they've heard it. A lot of times people are regurgitating because someone told them not to sing. And so they think that they're supposed to pass that on. And so my heart kind of goes out to people. And I'm like, did you not get hugged as a child? Like, what do you need?
And sometimes if you let people comment, because I was talking earlier with Miranda about this and Tami, like Sarah was saying, as your channels grow and stuff, you do get more like hate comments. So I do wake up and I am like hate blocking some people, and some people I let it sit. And some people I found, if you let their comments sit long enough, they'll have a change of mind. Either one of your subs will question, why are you being mean, or why are you saying that? So I had someone who was like, stop singing, please, I love you, but it's awful. Then edit their comments, say, I'm sorry, I never should have said that. And I've had that happen quite a few times with people who have been critical. It's almost like they had to say something for whatever reason, but then maybe their conscience or something cuts in and they're like, why am I attacking this person? So
that's interesting. I've definitely noticed that if I just talk back to them without hate back, if you comment me and I just like casually am like, oh, I love this song, whatever, then they'll be like, oh, okay. I think a lot of people don't realize that we're human beings that run a channel. I think they're so used to just typing like hate into a void. And then when you talk back to them, they're like, oh my gosh, we can communicate together. Great.
Well, people have been like, thank you for not blocking me. Most people would block me for saying something like that. I'm like, well, I guess I hoped you would find your own way. Yeah. But just like our very favorite Davon from Big Brother has said, and she gave this advice to Bailey on Twitter. She said, you're not meant to be for everybody. And we're not. I'm not meant for everybody.
We are not.
And this is more of the reason why we all kind of say, go sub to Miranda, go sub to Sarah, go sub to Joleen. Like we share, because there's something different you can find. Because if you're going to be for everybody, then you're for nobody. Because then you're not being your true, authentic self. So.
I definitely know I am not for everybody. And that's okay. Just move along. It's all right.
Scrolling like this. Let me show you how. Just boom, boom.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, back to some good news. That's kind of fun to talk about because it's our current world. So we appreciate all of you who join us and are, just cool humans. So I found this story, and this will be our last little good news story of the podcast.
Give it to me.
You guys. So there's this woman. She's 28 years old. She lives in, I believe it is Vancouver. And she was, I've never been, but I always wanted to go. It looks gorgeous. So she was moving, and she had a backpack that had like her iPad, some other electronics, and this teddy bear in it. And when she was moving,
not a bear. Not
a real bear, Sarah. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that to you again with the real animals and dying. We're not doing dead animals anymore, Joleen. Because that's not good news. Because sometimes we're like, the people live. What about the dog? Okay. Yeah. So apparently while she was moving, it was in a backpack and she was switching apartments, and someone stole it. Like it was taken out of her stuff. So whoever, I don't know who was helping her move or whatever. Now it sucks because it's got like an iPad and other electronics, but the sad part was the bear, because she had named the bear Mama Bear, because this bear had a voice recording of her now deceased mother. So her mother got diagnosed with cancer and her family lived in Toronto. but she lived in Vancouver. And so her mother wanted to give her, because she was so far away from family, she wanted to give her something to make her feel good. So it was like her mother saying these sweet things, here's my voice. Now, at the time, her mom didn't know that she was going to pass soon after that, because they were doing treatments, but the treatment stopped working. So her mother passed, and she's had this bear ever since. And so she can listen to this bear, call it Mama Bear. It's just literally, she had it at her wedding. She put it in the seat her mom was supposed to be sitting in. She put Mama Bear there. I mean, it's amazing. So she lost it and she was devastated. So she turned to the interwebs and stuff saying, if anyone finds this bear, her story got out there. Somehow it hit Mr. Ryan Reynolds, who we all know is a proud Canadian, helps the Canadians all the time. And if you couldn't love Ryan Reynolds anymore, he put out to his social media and to the people of Vancouver, $5,000 to anyone who returns this bear to this woman, Mara, who had lost it. 0 questions asked. I think we all need this bear to come home after hearing the story of how much it means to this girl. Sure enough, a guy turned the bear in. Ryan Reynolds gave him the money. And now she is reunited with Mama Bear. And she tweeted out an excited message of gratitude to Ryan Reynolds. And and so she's all over the news in Vancouver. But what a beautiful story. So she's got Mama Bear back. She's got her mama voice, everything. Like I said,
yes,
at her wedding. And it's just something she hopes to have her whole life, because it's this piece of her mom that her mom specifically did for her.
Oh, that is good. Joleen, that's a good one.
Tammy said she saw us here. Tammy said she saw us here.
It was close. It was close. It was almost there. It was coming up. That was close.
I saw it. I should have
choking up.
Maybe change the inflection in my voice or something, or I should have added.
Yeah, I don't know. It was probably just me realizing I was on a podcast. But yes, that was
Sarah.
I mean, your mother's voice after she passed. Oh, yes, that's devastating. And I can only imagine you're like, whatever. I lost all the stuff that's expensive. Fine. Take my iPad. Just give me back my mom's voice. Oh,
I love that he was just like, no questions asked, because most likely the person
was the thief.
Was the thief. But you know what? Whatever. We just need to get this back to this woman. Let me share the cute picture of her and Mama Bear reunited.
Yeah.
How cute she is. She's just like the sweetest thing. And Mama Bear's home, says a woman reunited with irreplaceable Build-A-Bear on Tuesday. So
that is good. Yes, I do. I have a tear. It's
Yay.
here.
Wait, I've got to get back to this.
The picture sent me over the edge. It was. I got a red nose.
She's adorable. She's
oh my goodness,
adorable.
I think that hits really close to me because I hate to say this out loud if my mom is still here, but I think about that stuff. Like, I haven't ever deleted her voicemails because
I do that too.
If I lose Mama Bev, like, I'm going to listen to those voicemails over and over again. And one time, Douglas plays guitar and I sing along with him. Like, that's something we do at home. And that's something that my mom and I did. My mom is a musician. She played guitar in her college days and like sang at gigs and all that stuff. So when she was raising me, she was playing music and we were singing together. She taught me how to harmonize. And Douglas recorded us once when we were just like jamming. He was playing guitar and we were all singing. And I didn't know he did that. And it just came up in his iPhone one day. And like, I lost it in the car. I was like, that's my mom singing with me. Oh my God. Like that kind of stuff. You know, me and my mom are super close. You guys get it.
Yeah, we totally get it. I love that. And I love that you have that just forever and ever, not to be morbid, but that's a big reason why I was like, I really want to start podcasting and things with my mom, because I'll always have these moments, like the experience itself, and also not to, again, be morbid, but I'll always have that. And so
yeah.
I totally get it. I totally get it. Julie B, thank you so much for the super chat. I see you, Tammy. You sent some super stickers. Thank you so much. Julie B says, hi, lady. Sorry I'm late to the live. How can I get info to get astrology reading from Mama Bev? Thank you in advance.
Julie, it's beverlylavender.com is her website, and she has a little scheduling app on there where you can make an appointment with her. If you put in Good Pop, she gives you a discount. Yes. Make it happen. She's here for you.
BerryLavender.com. Thank you, Tami, for another super sticker. You guys are so supportive and great. Well, I think this has been such a successful episode of the Good Pop Podcast, episode 12, because we got a little tear from Miss Sarah Atwood.
You did. Who knew? Moms that passed away. That might be the key.
It is. But it's so beautiful that we got to end on a story where she got her
I also
bear
love
back.
Ryan Reynolds. So way to go, bud.
He has been doing nothing but good things. And even since this pandemic has started, he and Blake Lively have given so much money and done so many things. And I just keep hearing these stories about him. So you know what? It is refreshing.
He's not just hot.
Yeah, you can be hot and kind. Remember that, everybody. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all your super chats. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for supporting us. We had over 50 people joining us live. I think this is one of our biggest Good Pops.
Thank you.
We are growing. You can find us on iTunes, and we would so appreciate a rate and review. I think we're sitting at 10 rate and reviews or something. So if you can just hop on the iTunes and give us a 5-star, always appreciated. Write a little something to encourage other people to give us a chance, because I love doing this podcast with you, Sarah. It's so fun.
It is lovely. Yes, it is fun. And it's, uplifting.
It is. I feel good after I walk away from this podcast. Also, check out BeverlyLavender.com. If you guys want your astrology readings, use Good Pop for 20% off. I am going to be hitting up Beverly Lavender in the Gmail right now to settle my, I was going to settle my score, settle my order. And don't forget,
put in her order.
Also, share this out with your friends. Let's make sure you subscribe.
That 10K.
And subscribe to Sarah. We're getting to 10. We're getting to 5. Hit Miranda up. Miranda's getting closer to 5. So we're all growing. What a fun time to be a YouTuber, Sarah, because everyone's at home. So there you go.
That's right. Join us at home.
Give this video a thumbs up on the way out. You guys have a wonderful week, and we'll talk to you soon, but we'll definitely see you next Saturday.
Yes, thank you.
Bye, guys.